Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a quick broadcast of Jerusalem's Gate. I pray everybody's doing good. I have a very important message, and I know I say that quite often, but it is honestly a very important message. And if you've been following Jerusalem's Gates, you've been knowing that I've been going in depth and in detail over the last many years about these signs you're seeing on the world. And I went over those signs many times, and most Christians, if not all, knows what those signs that the gospel states to be on the lookout for, and we're seeing them the last few decades. Okay, now, why is that? Why is that? Why does it seem like it's the issue seems to be coming from our country? Well, our forefathers forewarned us. If you study the writings of our forefathers, as recent as Ronald Reagan declared about what would happen if we depart from being one nation under God, will be a nation gone under, quote unquote. That's from Ronald Reagan. Well, our country has turned over the last many decades. We've decided, most citizens decided that we want to be a country of many gods, and Israel, the only country that's guaranteed to be around forever is God's, the apple of God's eye. I know it's King David in the scriptures, but it's Israel. And Israel is his ordained country, and Israel had slipped and started being one of a country of many, to worship many gods, and started getting away from God. And God had a more evil country take them over and destroy Israel, not more than one time. So if we are ordained to be a Christian nation, and we do the same thing, if not worse, what do we think? Why do we think God wouldn't do it to us if he did it to his own country, Israel, more than one occasion, and in fact let a more evil country do it? Well, this is what, a lot of people says all these signs, and I went over so many times, I don't want to go over them again, but this is what I believe he wants, the Lord. 2 Chronicles 7:14. Now, if you don't see the writing, I apologize. Like I said numerous times, getting the light work with this monitor is very difficult. 2 Chronicles 7:14. Okay, here we go. Pay real close attention, because this is so very important. If my people, which are called by my name, okay, called by my name. The United States was named to be the largest Christian nation and be a beacon to the world of Christian nations. And Christians means Christ ones. And that's his name, Christ, of course. If my people, which are called by my name, and I think that he's referring to the United States, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin. And here's the prize. Here's the prize we all been waiting for, and will heal their land. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one of the signs that is on the earth is pestilence, it says in the gospel. What do you think COVID is? COVID is a pestilence, and it's brought the world really low, and it's brought our country, it's stricken our country severely too, and the world. And some people will say, well, why is the world being affected by what happens in the United States? Because in prayer the Lord revealed to me that the United States wanted to be the world leader, and it's doing things that was supposed to be a beacon of Christian nation shouldn't do. And we decided that we want to be a nation of many gods, the same situation that ancient Israel happened to ancient Israel. And COVID is here, and it scared people so much. The churches was closed down, businesses were closed down, everything was closed down. And now they reopened the churches, And I think this is my personal opinion, is I think the Lord is, well, I don't think, I know the Lord is calling us back to the house of God again, and to fulfill 2 Chronicles 7:14, and humble ourselves and repent and turn from the things that we've been doing. And I've gone over that numerous times. The abortion holocaust being one of them. That's one of the wicked ways. Now, here's the thing. Joel 1:14. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the Lord wants to motivate us now. We've been stricken, but He's trying to motivate us. And He's trying to tell people it's time to return to the house. The Lord made it where nobody can go to church. And now it's a time. This morning in prayer, I felt Joel 1:14 come in my heart. And the Lord saying, sanctify ye a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land into the house of the Lord your God, and cry unto the Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a motivating statement. The Lord's given us our country the map to get out of all this. All these signs of the wrath. And he says his wrath is just kindled a little, per the scriptures. So we can't imagine what it would be if his wrath was kindled a lot and his fury is unleashed on the world. And I tell you what, I just got so excited. Yes, there's wrath on the land and the world. Yes, God is sending many, many signs to warn the United States. But now the Lord is trying to motivate us. And that's what He's saying. Sanctify ye a fast. Call a solemn assembly. Gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land into the house of the Lord your God, and cry unto the Lord. That, I tell you, that's so motivating. And I say that in a troubled time of the world with all these signs. I'm being felt heavily in my spirit that the Lord's trying to motivate us to say, look, let's turn away from these wicked ways. Let's make right the wrong. Let's repent and humble ourselves. And let's sanctify a fast. From the greatest to the least and everybody in between. Sanctify a fast. Call a solemn assembly. Gather the elders and the inhabitants of the land into the house of the Lord your God, and cry unto the Lord. That's what I'm feeling, the Lord. Yes, we've been stricken, but the Lord is saying, let's sanctify a fast. Let's call a solemn assembly. Let's gather into the house of the Lord and call upon our God. Our weapons of warfare, it's good. It's very important to have a strong military, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important. But the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but the weapons of warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God for the pulling down of stronghold, casting out imaginations, and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of the Lord. The tanks and the jets, that's all good, but it's worthless in the spiritual warfare. It's absolutely worthless. And again, I'll say it again, it's very important to have a strong military. But the spiritual warfare that's taking place, those type of things they're worthless. They might as well be made out of paper. It's absolutely worthless. We have to get back to being a Christian nation. I think the Lord is calling upon our country to say, do we want to be a Christian nation, or do we want to be a nation of many gods? Not saying that you should hate other people of the religion. You have the right to worship anything you want to. You have the right to worship the devil if you want to, and you should have that right. But we have to make a decision, ladies and gentlemen, if we want to be a Christian nation, or if we want to be a nation of many gods. And if we don't want to be a Christian nation, and we do want to be a nation of many gods, and we continue this path of doing things that the Lord has revealed through many, many preachers, And many, many people all over the world has been saying, I want it to be a Christian nation. And I think the Lord is trying to motivate us Christians to get back in the house of God and stake our claim that we want to be a Christian nation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a brief but direct message today. And I pray that you do want the United States to be a Christian nation. I really do, and turn away from these things and let's turn to God. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm motivated. Yes, there's wrath upon the world. Yes, I know the world has been brought down to its knees with COVID. I know the things, the sea and the waves roaring, the wars and rumors of wars, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, tsunamis, earthquakes in divers places. All that stuff has been going on. But I think the Lord is trying to motivate us, ladies and gentlemen, to get us back into the house of the Lord, and let's turn this country around and be a Christian nation. Okay, I'm nobody. You don't have to believe the message because I'm absolutely nobody. I'm just a poor person with a cheap camera that's got a message from the Lord. Well, with that being said, remember, we love you so dearly, and our prayers are for our country, and I pray that we all make the right decision. And I got a little few second video, Ronald Reagan. It's coming up next. It's only it's not even over a minute, I think. With that being said, here comes the video. Thank you for tuning in to Jerusalem's Gate.
I've always believed that we were put here for a reason, that there is a path, somehow a divine plan for all of us and for each one of us. And I've also always believed that America was set apart in a special way, that it was put here between the oceans to be found by a certain kind of people based on a quality that these people had, but that they came from every corner of the world. And a country then was created by men and women who came not for gold, but mainly in search of God. They would be free people, living under the law with faith in their Maker and in their future. It's been written that the most sublime figure in American history was George Washington on his knees in the snow at Valley Forge. He personified a people who knew that it was not enough to depend on their own courage and goodness, that they must also seek help from God, their Father and Preserver. Where did we begin to lose sight of that noble beginning, of our conviction that standards of right and wrong do exist and must be lived up to? Do we really think that we can have it both ways? That God will protect us in a time of crisis even as we turn away from Him in our day-to-day life? It's time to realize, I think, that we need God more than He needs us.